Page 62, Willow Tree Waltz, the last piece in this book. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You're really getting up there. 3/4 time, 2 sharps. So it's D major or B minor. Well, look at the end. The last couple measures. Got this broken chord going up. That's a D major chord. I'm saying it's probably in D major. 8th notes all over the place. 3/4 time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and count it out with 8th notes. There shouldn't be a problem, and that's the way all the way. It's either quarter notes or 8th notes, pretty much. The left hand is really the left hand gets melody through a lot of this. These dotted half notes are melody. You get to play these out till you get down to the last line on page 62. Now your chunk chunks. Oop, chunk, chunk, oop, chunk, chunk. You can do a 5/2 on that if you want. Oop, chunk, chunk. That's about it. I do have one suggestion on fingering for the right hand at the end of page 62, the bottom. You're coming up here. They saying 1, 3, 5. You got to hold that down as you play these because it's a dotted half note. Then they want 5th finger again on the next one. See, the 2 neutral, you hang on to those. They probably want you to stress a little bit, play it a little louder. I mean, it's melody. You're going to play it a little louder anyway. So I would suggest we connect these. Can't connect them if you play them a little finger. So I'm suggesting rather than 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 4. Now I can connect them. Like so. I'm recommending that fingering. I think it works better. When you get to top of 63, though, you can use their fingering, okay, because there is no B flat. And but the second line, go back to 1, 2, 4, because you got a B flat there. And then the third line, you're coming down. Watch this. It's C natural, B flat. They changed it, didn't they? 5, 4, 3, 2, and I recommend you immediately substitute 5th finger there. Play it with 3rd and put 5th finger on it, because that way you can reach this C sharp with 2nd finger and connect it. You want to connect it with the hands with legato, and you can't do that. A 3rd finger, you got to use thumb. And that's okay if you want to do that, but I prefer here. You got to be able to do a finger substitutions anyway, so this is good practice. It's a dotted half note. You got time. Put the hands together. Gotta mention this. Is in 3/4 time? I can't remember. It's in 3/4 time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Make sure you hold these dotted half notes down. It's melody. So 4th. Let's go down to the last line on page 62. Here. The pedal's going to connect everything. Don't worry about it. Then we get down to the coda, the 4th line down on 63. The notes are written here. They have the RH and the LH to tell you which hand, right or left hand, plays it. You can also look at the stems. If they go up, use the right hand. Here, the notes are written here, but it has an AVAs. You got to go up here if your keyboard's big enough. And then here, and these are all 8th notes here. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and. So you got to get your right hand down, ready to go. Here, and then the chord, it's an A on the left and a G and a C sharp, and then this arpeggio coming up. I do a 2, 3, 5. You can do a 1, 2, 5 if you want. I like 2, 3. So it's here, 2, 3. Here, and leave your hands and everything in position until the end, and then it all comes up together. That's sort of how I think it should go. As far as the articulation goes, for the most part, follow the slurs. Connect all that. slur. Get the idea? Then at the bottom, the last line on 62, it says staccatos. Wrist staccato here. It's here. That's what we want. And then the coda, you just connect it all. I don't like this and have a lift there. The pedal's going to cover it up, and I just slur it all together. That's what I'm trying to say. This means slur it all together. It's just all slurred. And the last two measures, again, slur it all together. Don't separate. No, slur it all together. I disagree with their slurring there. As far as dynamics goes, it's moderately soft at the beginning. That's the melody. You swell up so here, and then go up to moderately loud, and then back down to moderately soft. A little louder. And the other stuff stays under it. Third line down, third measure. Now you're moderately loud. You're up here. Because you changed it. So let's take the third line here. And then back down, you're still moderately loud. Then you come down. See the poco retardando? You'll slow down a little bit there. Poco means just a little bit, and retardando slow. You just slow down a little bit, not much. And then back to all tempo, so you back up to what you were doing. Now it's moderately loud. You're going to go up to loud. That. The chords are not loud. Keep those down. Now come down. Now you come back up to loud. And you're still loud here. By the way, in the third line down, second measure there on 63 in the left hand, you can use thumb for both of those notes if you want. And then come down to soft. For the coda, you're moderately soft, whatever that is. Then go down to soft, 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 and then soft, and now you retardando to very soft. That's sort of my opinion of the dynamics. Speed-wise, flowing. They give you some metronome. Don't rush this. I've been kind of rushing it in the video, but make it flow. Whatever flowing is to you, that's what it is. Then we're going to add some pedal to connect it and overtones. We want to color it a little bit. I'm going to use legato pedal, but only when it's marked, because we don't want to pedal everything here. So at the beginning, no pedal on the first measure. Right after I play the A, I put the pedal down and then play this. And then change it after I play the B. Lift it up before I play the A in the next measure. They're showing overlap it. And you could connect this and then lift up, or you can lift up here so it's a new sentence and new phrase. So if I lift up, it sounds like this. There's just a little bit of silence. If I overlap it and connect it together, it's this way. So it's up to you which you like to hear. Maybe one time you play it one way and another time you play it another. There's choices. You got choices. Or if you have a teacher, they'll tell you how to do it. When you get down to the bottom of page 62, it's overlapping. And they're telling you again, overlap it to the 8th note on the next page. Or I would say you could lift it up so you get a little silence. You have to experiment with both methods and see what you like. Now at the top of page 63, you have to lift up with the staccato. We need the staccato. At the end of the 3rd line on page 63, lift up before you do the DC. Remember, DC means go back to the beginning. Just, that's it. There's no options here. If it's DC, go to the beginning. And then you do, and lift it up before you go to the beginning. Then you're going to go to the sign for the coda, which is at the end of the 4th line on page 62. You see the circle with the crosshairs here? And then lift up before you go to the coda, and the coda is pedaled all the way through these 8th notes. Blur them all together. Now change it, and change it again. And then lift it up with the hands. The idea with blurring it together is when you start blending different harmony, well, it's all the same harmony pretty much. I mean, it's whatever it is. It puts in colors of sound. So you have to experiment with colors. A lot of composers do this. Debussy and Ravel, they do the color. You gotta listen, because they're pedaling. If you watch it, they're really blurring a lot of stuff together, but that's the color they want. It's not a clean sound like you get with Mozart or someone like that. Here we're blurring it all together. Just blended all that together with the pedal, and that's the effect they wanted, so that's what we did. Now, just so in an effort for you to understand everything you sing in the music, because I think you should understand everything you see in the music. You see in the 1st line on page 62, above the staff in the 2nd, 3rd measure, they got a little curved arrow. That's not part of the music. That's not a music notation or anything. That's something that the author has put in there to remind you the technique for when you're doing this. You're kind of lifting up. You're going blah, 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 blah. I don't worry about the wrist. Keep the wrist loose, and when I transfer the weight to the other, it just does it all by itself. Just type thing. That's what those little arrows are for. They talk about it more on the previous pages when they talk about arpeggios and things. I talk about that kind of stuff in the scale and arpeggio videos I do. That's where I do the technique for that stuff. I like to play this with you slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics. I'll give us 3 counts and let's play it. 1, ready, and go, and 1, and the beginning. To the coda. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.